Well, here's an interesting chess puzzle, and it's white to play and win. White's pawns are moving this way, and as you can see, the knight is hanging and this rook is hanging. So you can pause the video to find the best move for white here. So first of all, if you try to play something like rook takes a8, then you can just play knight takes, and after king takes, he can take this pawn, and after you take his knight, he can just move down and then take this pawn, and this is just a draw. And if you try to play something like pawn takes knight, then you can just take the rook, and now this is again a draw, because if you try to push this pawn, then you can come here, and if you try to push this pawn, thinking that you will queen if he takes, but that's not what he's going to do. Instead, he will take with the king, and now even if you take his rook, he can take your queen, and now this is again a draw. So what about something like, say, rook to b7? Then he can just play knight to a4, saving his knight and threatening a fork. Then this rook takes a7, for example. Then you can just take, and after you take, he can take this pawn, and again a draw. So here the only winning move for white is c7. First of all, if he tries to take this rook, then you can promote with check, and his knight is also hanging. And here, if you play something like king to c6, then you can just take his rook, and after he takes this pawn, you can just give him a check and then grab this knight, and this is easily winning for white. So what about something like king takes c7? This is where it gets tricky. Here, you don't take this rook, otherwise he will take with the knight and it will be a draw. Therefore here, instead of taking the rook, you will play a takes b6, grabbing the knight. Here, if he goes a takes b6, discovered check, then you will simply take the rook, but that doesn't make sense. Instead, he can just take your rook, but that doesn't matter because of b7. And as you can see, only legal move is king c7, and then you can promote to a queen and win this game easily. Well, this is not the end. Here are some more amazing chess puzzles like these. And if you don't want to miss the upcoming videos, then don't forget to subscribe.